Here we are. Dash is taken apart already. You can see this is where the holes go. 1, 2, 3. See that orange? And you gotta watch out for these little flaps right here on the side curtains of the airbags. See, you got that one over there. So what goes off is this. This is what's gonna come off right now. Big old metal bracket all across. And so the dash is taken apart. There's a lot of wiring involved. There's a few wires that need to be disconnected, the airbags, and pretty much there's a lot of stuff. You see all these wires here. The whole wiring harness is connected to the whole dash. So when you disconnect all this stuff, it's gonna stay on the dash. The airbag is gonna stay on the dash. Everything stays on the dash. The dash is like one full unit assembled together with wiring and all kinds of buttons and stuff on it. So once the dash comes out, once you take all the screws off the bottom and all the screws that need to be taken off, you just pop it out. From the top, it just pops out. It doesn't have screws up here to tie it down. It just pops right out from the top. But from the bottom, you do have to pop it off. So here we are. So we take all these bolts off of the bottom right here. And all the bolts off. There's a bolt down here. On the bottom of this. Can't really see it anymore. There's bolts on the top. Look that way. There's a bolt right here. There's a bolt right here in this corner. See all this stuff will move. This moves freely. I can move it back and forth. Now we're ready to take this out. We'll pop it from this side first and then we'll pull it that way. It's off. See, this whole piece is out. Now we can just get to this heater core. You can see there's a lot more room now that we've cleared this area. And then so next step is take this fan unit off. See where the filter goes, the cabin filter. This is the fan unit. See that? And this one only has a bolt on the bottom, right here. And it has a bolt on the top with a rubber insert. This is the 10mm right here. And then it has one of these on the bottom. Also 10mm. So I loosened up this little computer right here, this little ECU, move it a little bit to the side so you can play with it. It's kind of hard to get to that bottom bolt down there, but I just did this one, loosened it up a little bit. Then we were able to pop this out. This one only has one wire coming out of the bottom right here. Where it plugs in, you can see. You see the plug that comes out of there. Just like a dual. And then this one here, I took it off earlier. This one goes to all these, where all these boxes are at and all these wiring harnesses. So I did kind of loosen up these wiring harnesses too. They just pop right out. Pop right out. Pop right out right here. You gotta play with this a little bit. Gotta get like a little pick. Something like this. So you could pop the one in the back over there. It's kind of hard to get to it. But now we got a lot of room. What's gonna happen with this heater core is it's gonna slide out this way. You see? Well, we gotta disconnect the hoses over there where the engine is at. And then we can pull these towards us out here, and then we can pop it out. We're also gonna do this other part right here, as you can see, kind of where there's a little door right here. We're gonna take these screws off. That's also for, I believe that's the AC unit. Okay, so I got this whole unit off. There's one wire that doesn't really go anywhere. And you don't really want to mess with it. You don't want to break anything. That's this wire right here. So I just sit it down right there. As you can see, I'm on the passenger side. And this is the replacement part. I have to use one. on the ground. I just slide it out. So you can see the AC lines have to come apart. The AC line right there. Alright. So it goes in this way. And on the bottom of it, there's this plastic part. Make sure you put the plastic part. Make sure you put the plastic piece back on the other part. This is the cover. Goes on top. You see how dirty it is, and then you want to clean everything in there. It can come out good. Alright, so here we have two important wires, ground wires. One goes right here. That's right here with a multi-CD player. And one of them goes right there. See? The very important ground wires. Do not forget where those go. This one, it's easy to forget because it's right behind here. You can see. So you gotta put this on. And it goes over. That's once we remove this panel. Alright, once this steering column is ready to come down, you see how it moves around. It's these 14mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can move it around. See that? So all the wires have to be disconnected first. All these connections. Everything that goes under there. And then we can remove it. See the cover stays up here. You see how this little screw goes in there? Gotta turn the steering wheel. See all this? All this is taken apart. I usually would put this first before we put all the dash together. Just in case we leave any wires that are not connected for the stereo. Stereo, a lot of people like to put a lot of aftermarket stereos in them. Put a little bit of amplifiers on them. You can see right here is a sound gate. So make sure you mark everything before you even disconnect it, so you know where it goes back. So here I'm going to show you this stupid wire that's super hard to find where it goes. See, it goes in there. And it connects back there where the fuse box is at. It's very easy to forget where this goes. You can see where it connects to. I'll shake it around a little bit. You see where it's at. So on the steering column, I didn't tighten any bolts. I left them loose. I just put them on by hand. I left all three of those on and I took this one off. So the string was able to tilt a little bit down. And now we're gonna sneak this cluster in there. So while putting this thing back together, you want to open up the corners. Take this screw out of here, 10mm, and then pull it out and have this go in there. Insert it. So you got to do the same with this side. Pop it out, insert it. It's a little tricky, but see right here, 10mm. Gotta get it in there the right way. Same thing over here. 10mm.